Is Tudor better than Omega? Is Omega more important than Tudor? Which of these two is best? I'm not here to ask nor answer these questions because, frankly, YouTubers have been covering this topic for quite some time. I'm more interested in the deeper questions, like can Tudor ever catch up to Omega's relentless pursuit towards technical perfection? Well, perfection is a stretch, still waiting for the bracelet update, but you all know what I mean. Omega did something that 99% of the watch brands out there wish that they had done back in the day, to walk the fine balance between ahead of its time technical advancements while still maintaining a strong hold on cultural relevance. The most important time in modern space exploration, the moon landing, Omega was there. One of Hollywood's most definitive action movies of the 90s, Omega was there. And I'm not even talking about the Olympics. In most sports, where timekeeping can just be another name for creating brand awareness, Omega has been developing the machines, the cameras, the sensors that are used to measure the games during the Olympics for almost a century. Today we say that Omega has too many watches in their catalog, but it was because that they were one of the largest watch manufacturers of the time with the most reliable movements that they were able to hold on to the timekeeping position for this long. Before Omega's involvement, timekeeping was an absolute mess. Every player would bring their own brand of choice, and there was no way of keeping time with consistency. We're talking 30s and 40s. COSC certification was only a thing in the 70s. A modern day similarity between Omega and Tudor is despite their beginnings, despite their struggles, despite everything, they continue to be among the most technically innovative brands at their price points. Tudor had more of a rough and tough type of beginning, and that continues to this day. Tudor was the everyman's watch brand right from the start. I wouldn't go as far as calling it the poor man's Rolex, but it was definitely intended as a capable watch for those that couldn't afford the more premium Rolex. This was Hans Willdorf's way of dominating both the entry level and the premium market. We know how it went from there. Tudor was used by coal miners, went into motorsports, and was even the brand of choice for naval divers like the Marine National from the 50s till the mid 70s. Today, Tudor continues to position itself as a premium sports watch brand and is seen as a cool brand for both the seasoned collectors and those looking for their first luxury watch. It's premium enough to be aspirational but not as out of reach as the modern day Rolex. Simply put, Tudor has been dominating the $4,000 to $5,000 price point for the best bang for buck. But this is exactly where things start to get complicated. Tudor has now started offering things like ceramic, titanium, and even high-tech carbon cases for their sports watches, features that Omega offers at much higher premiums. Tudor even started offering the brilliant T-fit clasps with on-the-fly micro adjustments on their latest lineups, along with the fan favorite 5-link Jubilee-style bracelets. All while Omega fans are still begging the brand for an updated bracelet on the Seamaster 300. And if that wasn't enough, Tudor is now offering Meta certified calibers with industry-leading precision, anti-magnetism, and shock resistance, something that Omega used in order to compete against Rolex. But we still have that question of cultural relevance. Which watchmaker maintains a better brand awareness? And the answer is obviously Omega. While watch enthusiasts on Instagram will say things like, "We see the Black Bay 50, it's everywhere," most non-watch muggles have no idea what a Tudor is, because they haven't seen it long enough, whereas Omega has been a household name for decades. Unlike nowadays, both Omega and Rolex had a way of being part of many middle-income households everywhere. Companies would hand out Omegas to their employees after years of service, and many collectors have an old Rolex Datejust that was passed down to them. So besides the long-standing heritage and decades of marketing as a luxury brand, Omega definitely wins on the aspirational branding front. There is just way more story, way more nostalgia attached to it. While Tudor doesn't enjoy the same level of prestige or emotional sentiment, its recent rise makes it ideal for the younger collectors, a brand that speaks to them and not their parents. Its relevance has been achieved through a cult status amongst enthusiasts. While Omega has had one of the most active communities like Speedy Tuesday, the Tudor community has a rising momentum that doesn't seem to be slowing down. It has the cool factor. Omega is seen as a more serious, big money brand. The name has a bit of respect attached to it. But Tudor is just cool. It's not fuzzy, it's playful at times. It has some heritage and ties to Rolex, but it's still very much its own brand today. And with the constant mindful upgrades, we are getting good watches for the money that are not just able to keep up with times, but are at the forefront of trends that micro brands are able to use as a reference point. So when we look at these watches by the two brands, is it worth paying more for an Omega, or should we just get a Tudor and call it a day? The answer isn't simple. I think this is exactly where we see logic waving us goodbye as it jumps out the window without a parachute. From what I see, Tudor hasn't eliminated the desire for owning an Omega. It has just offered a brilliant watch at a price where we weren't seeing anything close to it on the spec sheet front. Tudor made owning well-made, class-leading specifications in a trending dive watch style more attainable. But that doesn't take away from the heritage, from the icon status that Omega has. I still think that Rolex and Omega are closer in terms of brand importance, history, and technical achievements. Some would say that Omega is faster and innovating than Rolex, except for the bracelet, of course. But for many, owning a Tudor is more than enough. It has brought down the price ceiling from 9 or 10 grand to around 4 grand, and that's good. Now I ask you, which brand speaks to you? And if you already own one, do you see yourself owning the other? Let us know in the comments. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to check out Swiss Connection Watches website for new weekly drops, and I'll see you in the next one.